happen, so let's do it right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, achievers, startuppers, sponsors, mentors, link teachers, alumni, and all JAYE followers. We welcome you to the first ever live-streamed JAYE Malta Awards. This has been a challenging yet exciting year to say the least, one which has truly provided a unique experience for us all. During the next hour, we shall be bringing you highlights over the year, panel discussions, awards, and so much more. So, without further ado, please welcome our first panel this evening, our local JAYE team for their overview of the year. My name is Alexander Hignett and I shall be the voice. Our hosts this evening are Miss Jo Caruana, who is with the JAYE team, namely Dr. Carl Briffa, JAYE Chairman, CEO Miss Fiona Capter, and Miss Elizabeth Pulo, our JAYE Programs Coordinator.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this panel with the JAYE team. Hi Fiona, hope you're well. And
Hi.
I'd like for you to talk us through the year so far and to bring us up to speed on JAYE at the moment.
Well, good evening to everyone. I think it's been a really good year. We've had a year with a lot of activity, a lot of events, a lot of workshops, and there's a lot that's been achieved and a lot that's been done. We've had a fantastic cohort of students as well, which has been quite exciting. We've had quite a variety of ideas that came forward this year. I think in recent years there were a few concerns about too many apps appearing all the time. This year we seem to have a good mix of different types of ideas, which has been interesting. Obviously, as time went on, the teams came face to face with quite a challenge, which we call COVID-19. This has obviously spurred us all on into a bit of a different way of tackling things, be it moving away from face-to-face events to webinars, and obviously even their own way of communicating within the teams themselves. So it's been a challenge for all of us. I think we've all kind of initially struggled with those changes, but I think we're all getting a little bit better at how things need to be done now in the new normal, as everyone calls it. And we're very, very happy to see that basically the teams have managed to complete their journey and are now literally at the final moments of their JAYE experience.
Brilliant. Thank you, Fiona. And Liz, perhaps you could talk us through the process, also the teams, tell us a little bit about the teams and sort of how tonight's going to be judged.
That's all right. Thank you very much and good evening, everyone. Glad to have you with us. So this year has definitely been an interesting journey, not just from the content point of view, and from an amazing student cohort that we've had, as Fiona also mentioned. But we've had a couple of upgrades even in terms of how the competition is running. So we've kind of went into this year with the idea that we want to simulate the same process that would happen on a European level in terms of a competition. But before that, so just a bit of a background, this year we actually had 19 teams from the startup program, which is for the tertiary level students. And then we have 12 teams from the sixth form program, the classic young enterprise that everyone knows. So we've had quite a variety and a large number of students, and it's been fantastic. In terms of the competition, how it's happened is that the main competition has been happening just over the last 2 to 3 weeks, starting from the submissions of the students' company reports, pitch decks, investment proposal, and then moved towards the last 2 days when the students were giving their presentations online, and then followed by interviews from the main panel of judges. What's also interesting this year is that all the signature awards have also been taken care of in terms of a jury from the sponsors, from the respective sponsors of the awards. So that's kind of given, I think, a bit of a wider dimension from a competition and a bigger variety. So that's kind of the updates and how the competition has been running over the last couple of weeks.
Brilliant, Liz. Thank you very, very much. And Carl, hello. Perhaps you could give us a bit of an update on the challenges that the organisation is facing and the plans going forward.
Surely. First of all, allow me to thank everybody who is painstakingly trying to get this all together on the web. This is an experiment for us this evening. Everybody's accustomed to our national finals in great grandeur within the Hilton Hall. And today, because of circumstances, we are all here united on the web. Definitely a big thank you to the team at the office for putting all this together in such a short time. And I think they have managed to do it great. I take the opportunity to thank also all the supporters and stakeholders that help us throughout the whole year, be it the volunteers, be it the mentors, be it the link teachers, be it the sponsors, be it the trainers, be it the persons who are delivering the various webinars and programs. Obviously, we are here today thanks to the hard work which all these pitch in throughout the whole year. And without their support, we certainly wouldn't be where we are. We've been in existence for 30 years and over. So we've managed to grow over the past years. We've increased our span of programs to the primary and secondary. We've gone up to tertiary through the starter program, which is developing very fast. And today we can almost equate it also to our flagship program, the company program. And now I think the challenges ahead are, how are we going to continue to increase our reach? How are we going to continue to increase our programs? And certainly to do that, we need to collaborate further. All stakeholders need to collaborate further, be it government, be it the business community, be it the educational institutions, to recognize the importance and the great skills which are nurtured through entrepreneurship education programs as the ones we deliver. We have an objective, which is that of the European counterpart objective, that every student, every young person does experience an entrepreneurship education program before leaving their educational system, before leaving the educational system. And I think we are still a long way from there. We've done lots of progress, but I think we need to now strategize and, as I said, in collaboration, through a network, establish a milestone for Malta and work together to achieving those objectives. And I think that will help in growing the sector and seeing the great positives that come out from these programs.
Thank you. So now it would be great if everybody could just share their thoughts on this evening and your advice for the teams.
I think at this point, they've all put the biggest amounts of effort already into all that they have done. A big good luck. And I think the one thing I really want to say is that although there is always just the one winning team, the reality is you've all won, you're all winners, you've all learned a hell of a lot, and you can all take it all with you forward into your futures and your careers. So very, very best of luck and break a leg tonight.
It's honestly been a great year, and it's been amazing seeing the students learning and development throughout the whole year, from the challenges of them even not knowing each other from the beginning of year, and the fact that they've reached the end. I mean, it's an intense 8 months, definitely. Very different way of learning than the regular kind of theory-based, book-based learning. But I'm very excited to see the results this evening. The last couple of days have definitely been also quite intense for us, and very exciting to see them carrying out their final presentations and videos and, you know, final questions and quiz and all that excitement. But good luck to everyone. And as Fiona said, like, this is just the start. This was an one experience where hopefully they've learned as much as they could, and this helps them in forwarding their career towards what they aspire to become and where they aspire to go. Good luck.
From me, all I can say is I took part myself some years ago, and I still remember and cherish the moments that this program has given in my young days. it is a real life experience. You look back and you realize that you are not just learning what a company is, you are not just learning financial matters or what have you, but you are really learning how to face challenges and how to address real life situations. And therefore, cherish this moment, enjoy it to the full, and apply it in whatever you will be doing in your future.
Brilliant. Thank you everyone for all of that great feedback. And as an ex-JAYE member myself, I know you're going to have a fantastic evening. As both Fiona and Liz said, this is just the start of a very exciting period. I know myself that I credit JAYE with so much of the knowledge that I took into running my own business. And now, on with the show.
Thank you, Joe. And now, let's find out who this year's teams are.
Move back, please.
And now, on to our second panel of the evening to meet the judging panel of the Company of the Year competition. Joining us, we have Mr. Gregory Inglot, HSBC Deputy Head of Retail Banking and Head of Customer, Mr. Michael Zarb, Senior Manager at Deloitte, Mr. Pierre Mitzi, Independent Marketing Consultant, Mr. Nikhil Patil, CEO at Go, and Mr. Roderick Spiteri, Head Employer, Branding and External Relations at Betson Group. Hosted by Ms. Fiona Capter, CEO of JAYE Malta Foundation.
So I really enjoyed watching the teams express themselves this year. It's always a pleasure to see the students showcase what they've worked so hard on. A few things kind of stood out for me. One, we saw some fantastic teamwork across many, many teams. There are some years when you see a lot of individualism, but this year, I think from my perspective, I saw a lot of team dynamics. Clearly, huge topic with COVID. We saw a lot of resilience and adaptability to some of the challenges that the students encountered. So that was very good to see, and I'm sure the other judges will comment on this as well. And then something that I noticed was a degree or a high sense of pride towards the preservation of Maltese culture and kind of the quality of the Maltese environment, something that stood out. And then the last point from me was I think out of the whole judging criteria and the whole process, I enjoyed watching the promotional videos and the team presentations the most. Some of the promotional videos were really class, some fantastic ideas there, how to get their propositions out and how to sort of showcase what they've done. And in the team presentations, we were wowed quite a number of times by the creativity. So it was a pleasure to watch.
That's really great to hear, actually, because obviously it's interesting. I think if a result of COVID is actually the fact that it improved teamwork and it kind of brought a certain resilience into the game. I mean, let's face it, I've said this a number of times. If we tried to set a situation where something like COVID popped up and how they needed to react, we obviously wouldn't have succeeded so well. I mean, the fact that the whole world is in this situation obviously has helped them. But in some cases, we had a situation where, for instance, I had some of the link teachers telling me, will the judges take this into account, like that they can't do anything else now? And I said, yes, they will. But obviously, we're going to look out for those who supersede it and deal with it. And suddenly you could see the bells ringing. It's like, we need to do something about this. And clearly, that's kind of somehow happened. So I'll leave the floor to whoever else would like to comment. Pierre, would you like to go next?
Oh, okay.
Well, true. It was like a fire drill. It was like if you had to come up with a fire drill like that yourself, it would have never been anything close. Especially because it forced them to take make certain troubleshooting that they wouldn't have thought of otherwise, maybe.
Exactly. Mike?
I think what impressed me most in this year's competition is sort of how deeply social responsibility concepts, and this was mentioned by Greg, have been embraced by this generation, this upcoming generation. I mean, we've seen teams from forwarding, sort of protecting the environment. It was a very strong team, but also mental health, culture, sort of internationalization of culture, protecting historical buildings, inclusivity in education, and even companies that were for profit. Each one of them really embraced sustainability and almost put CSR as integral to their business model. They all did it, whether social enterprises or for profit. It was really actually heartwarming to see in this particular situation, in these difficult times. And it definitely augurs very well for the future of humanity at large. Seeing this positivity and this focus on bettering.
That's really good.
That's my biggest takeaway.
I think it's also quite nice. Normally we have an inundation of apps. This year we seem to have had a bit more of a balance of everything else, a bit of a peppering, and it went with also the different contexts that they came up with as well. So I don't know if anyone else has anything to comment on that front.
Yeah, for me, I think from my perspective, that's what I thought was interesting. When we look at startups in daily life, as you rightly said, I see mostly startups in the digital space. But as a nation and as an economy, having a bunch of makers and also people doing apps, but also creating businesses which are physical in nature, it was quite nice to see because, at the end of the day, economy is a sum total of not just apps, but also the fact that you can make things with your own hands. So I think seeing that diverse range of creativity was quite amazing.
Roderick, what's your take on it all?
No, this year I think at one point we were actually discussing kind of why we're not seeing more apps in the competition. So it was nice as well to see the other side of it, and also to connect to what both Greg and Mike were saying, is this kind of aspect of local community engagement, and also kind of those who had to source products. I mean, they were doing all they can to actually source local. So even that aspect they took into consideration was quite nice as well to see from students at that age.
All of them thought about the recyclability of the materials they're using. It was really integrated this year. It seems that these concepts are the real passions of the future. The future generation, this is what they're passionate about. This is what they want to fix in the world. Yes. It's great to see.
That's fantastic. So I think as an overall general feeling, I especially for those of you who have been with us years before, would you generally say that it's kind of been an improvement on previous years, and the content has kind of gone up a step or two?
I don't think it's been a bad vintage. Let's put it this way: there's been less teams this year than previous years that I've seen. I don't have extensive experience, but certainly from the few cohorts that I've seen come through, and I'd say given the challenges of COVID, some of the teams have done a really good job. It's quite hard to benchmark because they were really thrown a difficult situation at the peak time of the competition. But one point I would make is that many teams really understood what it takes to run a business and really understood some of the challenges with decision making. And we saw a lot of teams explain the problems that they went through and the solutions that they had to find. That was great because at the end of the day, this is a learning program and development of business acumen is critical. for whatever industry these students are going to end up participating in. So I was pleased to see that.
That's absolutely fantastic. I really hope that obviously they are going to go down in history as the COVID year. I mean, there's no two ways about that. But I think if they've managed to take an even better experience perhaps than in the past, then maybe throwing a spanner in the works is something we actually need to consider for future years as well, and come up with something else, because clearly it pushes the boundaries and it gets them out of the comfort zone.
It is difficult to benchmark, though. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yes.
It's very difficult to benchmark from previous years, because I mean, if you look at their overall level of activity and sales and stuff, it's a cut. I mean, the COVID really was a disruptor. But their reaction was fantastic. Some teams really responded well to COVID, into implementing and marketing contactless payment mechanisms and contactless delivery mechanisms. I don't think many of our local businesses actually are responding so well, to be honest.
Yes, absolutely. That's a very valid point, actually. Although, to be fair, this year when the cohort started, we noticed that this year's cohort was quite a proactive bunch. Normally, it takes us a while to get them moving at the start of the year, but this year they were really kind of ready to go from the beginning. And we were quite excited to see what they were going to come up with. And they really don't seem to have let us down, which is very good to hear.
Something which really struck me is that these students, I mean, they were exposed in such a short period of time, because it was like, what, 4 or 5 months? So many different experiences that we ourselves face in real life, kind of, once we grow out and kind of once we come into the professional world. So even at that stage when they're still students, I mean, they had to go through so many different brainstorming sessions, problem solving, communication challenges, teamworks, which sometimes worked, sometimes didn't work so well. The COVID challenge, so how they adapted to that crisis as well. So many different things, all jam-packed in such a short period of time. I think that's the greatest benefit of such a program.
Excellent.
Guys.
Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao,
Good
thank
evening.
you.
Fiona.
Ciao.
And now for the company program's signature awards. Our first signature award this evening is the Atlas Digital Marketing Award. The Atlas Digital Marketing Award recognises the best online presence through social media and the relevance and value it has in the most recent weeks.
Let's do it right. We're feeling right. Let's do it right.
The nominees, in no particular order, for the Atlas Digital Marketing Award are Enable, Begin and Bloom. And the winner for the Atlas Digital Marketing Award is Bloom! Hello, can you hear me over there? The first winners, can you hear me? Fantastic, how are you all feeling? Can you all hear me? How are you guys feeling after winning? We can all tell they're incredibly excited and happy for that. So, moving on. Our second signature award tonight is the EFQ Quality Excellence Award, sponsored, judged, and awarded by the EFQ Management Consultants. The EFQ Quality Excellence Award, awarded and sponsored by EFQ Quality Management Consultants, assesses the ability of the team to provide high-quality products or services to their customers by maintaining a desired level of excellence, creating and implementing high-end planning, quality control, and improvements. And the nominees, in no particular order, for the EFQ Quality Excellence Award are Unistory, Pop Pocket, and B Echo. and the winner is Uni History. Hello, Uni History, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Terribly sorry, everyone. As you can imagine, this is a live stream, so we're having some technical difficulties. Just give us a minute while we get everyone online, and we can get the reactions from our winners. Hello, hello, Uni Story. Can you hear me?
It's when the live shuts off, there's always when there's some answers in there.
Hello, Uni Story. Can you hear me? Uni Story?
Oh, is our call like bad or something?
No. Don't worry. We can all see you and hear you. Can you give us a quick feeling as to how you're feeling after winning the award?
That's insane. I'm so excited. Oh my god.
Yes, we can.
Fantastic.
Thank you. I'm on the line. Thank you. I'm
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, guys. As we can see, you guys all look fantastic. Now, moving on. The third signature award this evening is for Farson's Readiness for Work Award, sponsored and awarded by Farson's. The Readiness for Work Award recognizes those teams that have the best built work readiness and skills during the competition. Learnability means a desire and ability to grow and adapt as your skill sets to remain employable throughout your work life. And the nominees, in no particular order, for the Farson's Ready to Work are Uni Story, Pop Pocket, and Type Walrus. And the winner is Type Walrus. Congratulations. Walrus, congratulations.
Yes.
Yes, we can. I think, speaking for the team, we feel we're grateful, we're happy, it's been an honor. Just amazing.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Great to hear.
Thank you.
And now, moving on. And now for the Deloitte Best Business Plan Award.
Deloitte Malta has collaborated with Junior Achievement Young Enterprise for a number of years now. As the main sponsor of the business plan competition, we see the students from the very beginning when they're setting up their teams, deciding what product or service to go for, how they're going to go to market. We value the collaboration between Deloitte and Young Enterprise because we believe that it bridges the gap between student life and the business world. On behalf of Deloitte Malta, I wish us very best of luck in this year's competition, despite the challenging circumstances we find ourselves in. Good luck and thank you.
This year, we have a tie for this award, so on this occasion, and this occasion only, we have 4 nominations. And the nominees, in no particular order, are B Echo, Begin, Enable, and Uni History. And the winner for the Deloitte Best Business Plan Award is B Echo. Hello, hello, B Echo, can you hear me? You're all on live stream. How does it feel to win?
Yes.
Hello, B Echo, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. So can you give us a quick reaction as to how you feel about winning the award?
We are very happy and we are humble that we won the award. Like, we worked really hard. Thank you.
Fantastic.
This is amazing.
Yeah, we are really happy and humble because we really worked hard to come this far, and we are really happy. Thank you.
Moving forward is a natural human instinct. The same can be said about running a business. It takes planning, control, and a steady hand, because at times it can be treacherous. HSBC will support your business to keep moving with the right momentum and in the right direction. Wherever you're going, we are with you throughout the journey.
HSBC Bank Malta plc is regulated by the Malta Financial Services Authority to conduct the business of banking in terms of the Banking Act.
HSBC. Together, we thrive.
The company and startup programs are great platforms that exposes all JAYE students to many opportunities to help them kick off their careers. This brings us to a great internship opportunity that HSBC Malta embarks on every year, taking students on board to work with them over the summer months. And this year's selected interns are Gordon DeBono, Nathan Shembri-Wiseman, Anne-Marie Gonzi, Drew Demicoli, Christina Marianne Vella, Laura Marie Chianese, Martha Samut, Angelica Loreni Catani, Leandros Catania, Luke Tokashevaski, Emily Cilia. Congratulations and well done. Behind all the teams, the office and the workshops, there are a number of volunteering mentors and teachers who provide immense support, motivation and guidance to all the teams continuously throughout the year, and who are critical stakeholders within the JAYE network, without whom none of this would be possible. Joining us to share his experience with the latest addition to the team of Link teachers, who is also a company program alumnus of ours, Mr. Carl Vella from St. Martin's College. Hi Carl, can you hear me?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to all.
So, you've been nominated for this year's network of Link teachers to represent this fantastic group of individuals. How has your experience been, and why do you believe in the power of this experience?
So, a lot of criticism is leveled at teachers and at the education system in general, but the local education system, that our schooling is too theoretical, that we ask students to learn things by heart and then reproduce them on their exam scripts. I believe that this opportunity gives the students a really hands-on experience of what it is learning, of what learning by doing means. And I think that a lot of the elements in this experience, so learning how to communicate effectively ad intra, so in the teams, and ad extra, learning to communicate with the world outside, dealing with clashes between team members, managing teamwork even in difficult situations, working under pressure, adopting and learning corporate etiquette, promoting oneself and translating ideas and dreams into reality. I think these are all elements that are offered through this experience that our students are really benefiting for, and hence this makes JAYE a real worthwhile experience.
Thank you, Carl. It's been a pleasure to have you on connecting us with us this evening.
Thank you.
May we take this opportunity to thank all our mentors and Link teachers who, throughout the whole program, are great pillars of support and motivation for all the students who make it through these programs. A big heartfelt thank you from all the JAYE network. We now move on to our startup program, now in its 5th year. This program is for tertiary level students. This year we have had students from St. Martin's Institute of Higher Education, as well as AI students from the Faculty of IT, and marketing and management students from the FEMA at the University of Malta. Now, let's take a sneak peek at what they've been up to. Now that we've had a look at some of the ideas, I'd like to welcome the jury members who for the last 2 weeks have had the somewhat challenging yet hopefully enjoyable task of reading through and discussing all the ideas with the students during the presentation and interviews. Teams of this year's startup program. Please welcome our esteemed panel of judges. Mr. Steve Marmor, Audit Partner at PwC. Miss Margarita Privatera, Head of Distribution Risk at HSBC. Mr. William Waite, Chairman of Malta Enterprise, Mr. Zach Borge, Co-founder of Anchovy, and Mr. David Kermy, Managing Director at Kermy & Partners.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this very special judges panel. Hi judges, I hope you're having a good evening. I will hand straight over to Steve Marmor, who's head judge, and who's going to give us a bit of an introduction on behalf of the judges.
Hi Joe, thank you for that. Yes, with pleasure. An interesting 2 days. We spent 2 days interviewing and going through the various presentations with the teams. I must say this year in particular, there is a good mix of mostly applications, okay? However, applications coming from various angles to try and resolve various issues such as transportation, fitness, waste, environmental issues. However, there is also a good mix of manufacturing and agriculture. So we had a 2-day session that was really, really interesting. From a judging perspective, like we do in the past, like we always did, and like we did in the past, we try interacting with the teams to understand how the potential of what they are trying to deliver, what they are trying to come up with, can be taken further. Okay, this is a competition, true. It is a competition to drive an idea that is fair. However, there is a lot of potential whereby we can see that the startup can end up being a business in the near future. And therefore, with the experience that the judges bring to the table, after all, there is a lot of interaction with the students in that sense as well. The judges would be filling in score sheets. So based on the pitch that we would have received a few days before the actual judging session, based on the videos that are also sent to us, and based on the face-to-face interviews, the judges would be filling in different scores. We aggregate those scores, and we would use those scores to be able to determine who the winning team is going to be. Clearly, aside from the concept, aside from the idea, there is a lot that goes into this in terms of preparation. And we can see, and it is very tangible, that when tutors and when mentors really push students to be able to, go that extra mile, to be able to refine a pitch, to be able to put together a set of financial projections, that is, both from a profitability perspective and from a cash flow point of view, it enables an investor, because the judges are kind of substituting an investor panel, so to speak. It enables an investor to really understand whether the startup has potential, whether an investor is comfortable in putting money into that proposal. So that is what we've been doing over the past 2 days, 19 teams. So quite a good number of participants. And interestingly this year as well, we have seen a very good mix of skill sets. We had teams that come from different academic backgrounds, and therefore you'd have students from AI and IT merging with students from FEMA, and therefore having a business background. And the interaction of the different skill sets brings out the best of ideas. It brings out the best of presentations and the best of delivery when it comes to the face-to-face.
Okay, Steve, well, thank you very much. I'd love to go to each of the judges in turn just to understand a little bit about what you've been looking for in this process. I'll start with Zach. Zach, could you tell me a little bit about the thing that you've most been looking for as a judge? What really stands out to you as a leading company tonight?
Hi, good evening. From my end, I think it was looking at those individuals and startups that primarily had the passion to really dive deep into what they were presenting to us and how they were able to monetize the idea, because it's easy coming up with an idea, but the hardest part I feel is actually turning that idea into monetary value. So I was looking out for that primarily. And since I come from a tech background, I had a slight inclination towards tech, but there were some very interesting companies such as the manufacturing ones as well.
Thank you very much. David, I'd like to hear from you. What's been standing out among the teams for you?
I think there was a big mix. As Steve said earlier, there were those who really put their heart and soul in it, and this is something that we're looking out for. So those entities that had the energy, as Zach said, the passion, but also had a good idea to solve a real world problem, with combined with a workable solution that is sustainable in the long term. Because it's fine putting something, a theoretical exercise on paper and making it look good, but then you need to be able to take it out into the real world when all sorts of things can hit you on the broadside, and you need to be able to stay afloat and make it work. And I think there were a few today which we saw which really could make it out there, and some especially had that energy, that passion, that drive, that want to make it work, and didn't just see it as an academic exercise, but you could see them actually taking it out and making a success of it. And I really wish them lots and lots of success in that respect.
Thank you so much, David. And Margarita, moving over to you now. Obviously, this year has been a little bit different. And how do you think COVID has affected our teams?
So, as I say, there are no limits if one wants to learn and excel. And despite the fact that now we are changing the way of doing things, it's been challenging for everyone, but it's been very amazing the way that the students engaged with the new technology of having the meetings online, presenting even these last 2 days their presentation to us as judges. And ultimately, I think that the situation showed as well how the teams can understand better to work under resilience, collaboration, being committed as well to see the final result, and working together as a team.
Thank you so much. And William, just moving over to you now, what would you like to see after tonight? We're going to have the teams that clearly the leading teams, as well as all the other teams, of course. What would you like to see them doing after they finish tonight?
Well, basically, Joe, and in my opinion, entrepreneurship is not for the faint-hearted. So basically, I was looking at the team's passion for their idea and the effort that they are ready to put into to make it happen. So what I would like to see after this evening's results is that all the teams really embrace the ideas that they have. They take on what the ideas and the suggestions given by all the judges during the last 2 days, embrace them into their business plans, and ensure that they keep on putting even more effort and more time and more passion into their project, and with passion and the pride that they should have in their business idea, I think they will find success.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, judges, thank you. I think that wraps up a great session. On with the show.
Thank you, judges, for your insight into the competition. There's lots to take away from that discussion. And now for the first award of the evening, for the startup program supported and awarded by Traction Academy. The three teams took the initiative to strive and test their ability to pitch an idea behind their brand for their market with the support of Traction Academy. These three teams are Styles, Convex, and Tutors Plus. And the winner for the Traction Taking Your Brand to the Market Award is Convex. Congratulations! Convex, tell us a little bit about your experience with Traction. Are you pleased with this result? And how have you benefited from the support provided by the Traction team? Hello Convex, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello there. So, how have you benefited from the support provided by the Traction team?
So we really benefited. They really helped us with the branding. They had a seminar which was very, very interesting, and thank you for the award.
You're very welcome. Congratulations again, and thank you very much. And now, here we are with a few words from the PwC Concept Validation Award.
Experience, learn and innovate. 3 words that are really at the core of what we do at PwC. They are 3 words that also lend themselves very well when it comes to the JAYE Startup Program. And this is in fact why, as PwC, we have partnered with JAYE in this initiative. Today, we're welcoming more than 100 students at the hub. Students who have embarked on a journey to learn something outside of what they usually do in their university studies. It's really a journey that will prepare them for life.
And now for the much-awaited results of the concept validation competition that took place back in February. And the nominees, in no particular order, are Drive Safe, Tutors Plus, and Empire. And the winner of the PwC Concept Validation Award is Tutors Plus. Hello, hello, Tutors Plus, can you hear me? Fantastic. How are you guys feeling?
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Congratulations and really well done again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now, we would like to welcome Dr. Carl Briffa, Chairman of JAYE Malta, to present the John Harper and Philip Bonet Award for Perseverance. Hello, hello, Carl, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Alex, thank you. And allow me first to take the opportunity to thank the whole team that is painstakingly and successfully putting this production together. The production coordinator, Elizabeth Pulo, the producer, Matthew Muscadrago, presenters, Joe Caruana and Alexander Hignett, the Zoom management and marketing, James Stivala and Philly Monsuala Monelli. Thank you for your great work. I would also like to thank all our corporate and program sponsors who support us throughout the year. HSBC Malta Foundation, who for over 20 years have not only been a sponsor, but a trusted partner, helping us develop the programs we offer and their reach. In particular, allow me to thank Glenn Bujay and his team for their constant support and for always being there for us when we need. Our corporate partners, Atlas Insurance, Jobs Plus, the Ministry for Education and Employment, as well as the Ministry for Economy, Investment and Small Business. Special thanks also goes to the company program sponsors, Deloitte, Farsons, EFQ Management Consultants, and the startup program sponsors, PwC and Switch. However, before proceeding with the awards, I am delighted to invite two special guests who have made time to be with us tonight. Dr. Owen Bonici, the Minister for Education and Employment, and Salvatore Nigro, the newly appointed CEO for JAYE Europe, who wish to pass on a message of encouragement to our students. Salvatore, can I start with you? I'm seeing that you have a recognizable logo behind you.
Well, yes, it is. And it is my MBA. My MBA, I got it from the University of Malta. So I am also a product of the educational system of the University of Malta with a link campus that the university had it in Rome. Carl, let me thank all of you, the board, the staff, the teachers, and the youth who have been working so hard over the past year to get to this moment. When you're young, you're positive. When you're young, you're dreaming big. In a moment in which we need to really go deep into one skill that the entrepreneurs need to have, which is resilience. Resilience is what makes a material take a different shape, but then after you stretch it, it comes back. And it comes back in a better form. We're living very challenging times. These entrepreneurs that today are getting their award are really the examples that no matter what, after 1 year of hard work building their companies, they're now celebrating the final and they needed to adapt themselves into a new situation, which is going virtual, going online. We're very happy to be here and celebrate. We're very happy to be here and thank all the hard work that has been put into making those finals a successful event. What I say is, when you're young, you're positive. When you're young, you want to change the world. Let me finish with a quote of an Italian, being myself born in the south of Italy, again, very close to Malta. Enzo Ferrari used to say that if you can dream it, you can make it. Well, these finals are definitely the demonstration that you made it. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Salv. Thank you very much. We wish you the very best of luck in your new role, and you certainly have the support of our organization. Minister Bonici, this is also the first time that you're attending one of our events, having been given the portfolio for education earlier this year. Thank you for being with us. May we perhaps have your message for our students tonight?
First of all, thank you, Dr. Briffa, and I thank all the people who are making this beautiful event happen. And when I was told that we're going to use the online means to make this event, I said, well, that's a brilliant idea. You know, it's an example of what you do in business. When you have a challenge, you turn it into an opportunity. You had two options, either to give up or to move ahead, and you chose the resilient option of moving ahead. And that is a very important ingredient of what makes an important business ingredient. We are discussing applied education in reality. There has been a lot of talk about how we can improve applied education, and this is a brilliant example of how education can matter in everyday life. And that is something fantastic, of having an educational system which caters even for those kind of programs. which are very, very useful, because students do not only have the opportunity of working together in a team, which is already a feat in itself, but they are given the opportunity of getting in touch with people who have already made it, who have already been successful in their own professional life, and it is something which is very, very important. We are also discussing industry and the economy, and at the end of the day, the skills we need for the world, not of today, but of tomorrow. I think the best thing that those students and those youths can do is to try and provide solutions, not for today's challenges, but for tomorrow's challenges. So what they need to do is they have to imagine the world as it will be in 1 year time, 2 years time, 5 years time, and try to provide a solution today for the world they imagine that is going to be tomorrow. And that is the essence of creative thinking and how to be cutting edge. I think that the people, I've seen some projects of the students. I visited junior college just before the COVID-19 outbreak, and I've met a couple of students who are engaged in this initiative, and I was really impressed by some of the work which they have done. And I think that by being cutting edge, by trying to speak about the challenges of tomorrow and not of today, they can make the difference not only for themselves but also for the local economy. When there is a finale like today, usually we say, may the best one win. And of course, those who win will enjoy the moment and will keep remembering, even when they become older. But those who do not win might take it badly or be a bit critical of themselves. Please, one must understand that the fact that one doesn't win today doesn't mean that he's not good enough or that he is not brilliant. It means that he has to do something more to reach a better level than that which other people have reached. So my message to all those who participated is that you're good. The fact that you have arrived at this stage means that you are good, and you should keep on perfecting and becoming better and better. So that is my message. You told me to stick to 1 minute. I think I overran by a couple of minutes. I'm sorry for that, but I'm really happy to be here with you guys, and well done for this fantastic work you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much again, Minister Bonici. And we truly look forward to working together over the coming weeks and months. And now to the John Harper Award. This award, bearing the name of one of JAYE Malta past chairman, is a special award with no fixed criteria for its adjudication. And it is left to the sitting chairman to award a group or individual who demonstrate outstanding service to the organization and embody the very values on which it is built. This year, due to the exceptional times that we are living in, I have decided to defer the adjudication of this award to a later stage. However, on reflection, I realized that it is these very same circumstances that provide the basis for a truly deserving recipient for this award. The JAYE program is by its very nature built on the hands-on experience of our youth experiencing entrepreneurship, with social interaction forming an integral part of its existence. In truth, back in March, when restrictions were imposed locally, it seemed as though the program could not continue. I, for one, together with the rest of the board, were incredibly impressed to see how, rather than pack up and call it a day, all of the JAYE team, together with all volunteers and achievers, came together and demonstrated a true sense of entrepreneurship, managing to adapt to the situation, bringing us to tonight's finals at the scheduled time without deferral or delay. This is certainly a level of adversity that is not only unprecedented worldwide, but also for this organization. And I feel that this should be recorded in our history books. For this reason, I think that it is duly fitting to present this award to all the participants, volunteers, mentors, link teachers, judges, speakers, as well as all of the JAYE staff involved in the 2019 and 2020 company and startup program years. To virtually receive this award, I'd like to ask our CEO, Fiona Kaptur, who I am sure all involved will credit her as being the mentor, promoter, and driving force in this achievement. Hi Fiona, are you there?
I'm here. I am here. I am here. I can only say that it's been a very intense 6 weeks. It's been a little bit crazy. However, from the minute we were told we could not have face-to-face events, which pretty much was back around the 10th of March, we literally went into overdrive to see how best we could proceed, to take everything online, to make sure that our students were safe. No face-to-face events have actually happened since the 16th of March. We really truly hope that we will be able to meet again in the not too distant future to actually wish all these wonderful achievers the success that they deserve for all they've done so far, and to have a good drink together and to really celebrate all the hard work that has been done. And I will not stop at just that. I really must thank my team, who have been absolutely amazing. They just have not stopped. It's been 6 weeks. Literally, they forgot it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever time of the night or day. Somehow the phone just didn't stop. And thankfully, it brought us here today. So a big thank you to everybody for putting in all this effort. It's been worth it, and it's been fun.
Thank you, Fiona, and truly well done. JAYE annually recognizes an individual or group of people who throughout the program choose to adopt a positive disposition and overcome obstacles before them with unwavering perseverance. The Philip Bonnet Award for Perseverance bears the name of a person very close to the organization's heart. Philip was a past achiever, faithful volunteer, and board member who will always be remembered by all for his courage, determination, strength, and positive disposition, despite everything life threw at him. This year, we asked all participants and volunteers to nominate deserving candidates for this award. To help select the winners, we have sought the assistance of our alumni network. I therefore welcome Michaela Patch, President of the local alumni network, and Gianluca Gatt, an active volunteer and past achiever. Out of 40 nominations received, we have together selected 3 finalists. The first finalist is a team in the company program. For reasons that go beyond the scope and purpose of this nomination, this team had the added burden of having to convince their school to allow them to participate in this year's program. And despite the absence of a link teacher, they persevered until they finally managed to get the green light a couple of weeks before the business plan competition. Their proposer for this award, Lisa, who is also their advisor, motivated their nomination based on their teamwork, positive attitude, aptitude for lateral thinking, and resilience in dealing with various challenges along their journey. What looked like a hopeless situation turned into a success story, and despite everything, the team made it to tonight's event and are amongst the proud finalists. Our first nominee is Enable.
The second finalist, an individual also from the company program, received several nominations from his team members, link teacher, and other educators in his school. The nominee is the managing director of his team and was praised consistently for his positive attitude and steadfast dedication to the task at hand. He was present at every event and encouraged others, even those in opposing teams, to persevere when faced with difficulties. His link teacher, Roberto, motivated the nomination by saying that he never let his disability keep him or his team back. He never complained or used it as an excuse not to participate in a task. His grit and determination in engaging thoroughly in every task is a statement to encourage everyone to face any situation with optimism and resolve them. Our second nominee is Bradley Zarafa from the Innovatorium team.
The third finalist is a team from Startup, who were praised by Antoinetta, their proposer and link teacher, for their high level of dedication and always going beyond what was asked of them. When faced with restrictions of social distancing imposed by extraordinary circumstances we find ourselves in, these achievers left their homes and moved in together to be able to continue working as a team towards their goal, which goes beyond the finals. On their own steam, they found additional mentors to assist them not only in excelling in the startup program, but fulfilling their dream of continuing their company long after the curtain descends on this year's competition. This team truly exhibited the perseverance, determination, team spirit, and entrepreneurship that Junior Achievement Young Enterprise is all about. Our third and final nominee is Styles.
So, Michaela, will you do the honors this year and announce the award?
Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Philip Bonnet Award for Perseverance goes to Enable. Well done, Enable. And now to the moment you have all been waiting for, the Company and Startup of the Year Awards.
Now, for the moment we have all been waiting for. The Title 12 teams in the running for the Company of the Year award announcement is finally here. Who will be representing Malta during the JAYE Europe Company of the Year competition, hosted by JAYE Portugal? Please welcome the company program head judge, Mr. Gregory Inglot, who has something to tell us. Hello, Gregory, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello.
Good evening to you. Hello. Can you please share with us the announcements of the second runner-up, the first runner-up, and the winner of this year's Company of the Year award?
Of course, with pleasure. So here goes. So on behalf of all the judges, and I must say with unanimous support, here are the winners. In third place, a team with fantastic ambition of supporting children in education. They excelled in a well-researched technical project with excellent applicability. This team consistently pitched well across the entire program. Big congratulations go to Enable. In second place, we love this team. They showed fantastic energy and a high standard throughout the competition as well. The team had a huge appetite to get things done, not letting COVID defeat them in any way. We really appreciated the challenges and the solutions the team found throughout their journey. Their product has genuine commercial potential and scalability as well. And the runners-up for 2020 are 4World. And finally, in first place, the team showed real dedication in the product design. We really enjoyed watching them and listening to them understand how they wanted to make this product the best possible. They excelled in showing us their passion and commercial skill to adapt to the COVID changes that were presented to them. And we valued their simple solution to making Maltese history more accessible to all in a fun way. Their project has some of the best commercial potential. And the winners for 2020 are Unistory.
Thank you very much, Gregory, and a huge well done to Unistory. We'll see you soon at the Company of the Year Competition 2020 European Final.
Yeah! You won it, guys! You won it! Oh my god!
We got it!
Oh my god, guys, we did it!
Hello, Unistory, congratulations!
Oh my god!
Let's get some reactions from you. How are you feeling?
Nice! Oh my god! What? Oh my god! Oh! What? We actually won?
Yes, you did. Congratulations.
Yeah, really.
Guys, congratulations!
Oh my God,
we did it! Everybody for that help in this course. Do you want to say something?
We're so thankful for this opportunity. This is
Really well done and completely deserved from all of you.
God.
The Startup of the Year award announcement is here. Who will be representing Malta during the JAYE European Enterprise Challenge, hosted by JA Greece? I would like the Startup Head Judge, Mr. Steve Mamo, to join us and make the announcement. Hello, Steve, can you hear me?
And good evening.
Good evening to you. Can you please share with us the announcements of the second runner-up, the first runner-up, and the winner?
Great. So starting with the second runner-up, we have MPAL, and a team that has developed an app to be able to enable physiotherapists to have access to the medical history of the clients, and not only to the history, but to continue updating the records in the years to come. The first runner-up, we have Convex, a team that has developed an application to enable travelers to not only get a feel and understanding of the do's and don'ts of where they're visiting and the places of interest, but also to unwrangle, so to speak, the complications around the different currencies throughout the globe. And the winners this year are coming from the traditional industry, manufacturing. We have S-Tiles, a team that has opted to produce a tile locally from recycled materials. Well done, and thank you.
Congratulations, felicitations, and well done to Styles, who will represent Malta at the European Finals, virtually hosted by Greece. Hello, Styles, can you hear me? Hey everyone, how are you?
We're great actually.
Fantastic, can you please tell me how you're feeling, and congratulations.
Really honored. We're humbled, like our hard work is paying off. Having moved in together is just paying off. We're reaping what we sowed way back months ago. Like it feels great. It feels great.
We would like to thank JAYE Malta for giving us this opportunity, and all the judges for letting us exhibit our work. And we, from us all, from the team, from S-Tiles, would like to thank you for letting us represent Malta in the European competition. We are very honored. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and it's very much well deserved. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure hosting you tonight. We hope you enjoyed this year's JAYE Online Awards 2020, and a huge, and I truly do mean a huge, congratulations to all of our achievers. From me, myself, Alexander Hignett, a very, very good evening.